Hey everybody, what's up? It's Fourshade Studios back with another podcast. This time it's episode 34. I'm Brock Ferguson, here with Devin,
Hi.
someone, and Blake,
Yo.
someone. So, just like last time, we haven't done one in about 2 years. And even though Nintendo's announced absolutely nothing, we have tons of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, just nothing. Just really nothing.
This one's
I mean,
close to nothing.
If you,
Most
you ask the
things I don't
Sony
care about.
fanboys, it's nothing.
It's true. They had their time with the PlayStation reveals. All right, let's get into it. Pokemon Presents. They had 2 of these within the last 2 weeks, which was kind of crazy. I didn't actually know that these were called Pokemon Presents until like today when I was putting the notes together. I was like, oh, it's a Pokemon Direct.
Oh.
It's Pokemon
You'd think they'd come
Presents.
up with a better name.
I know.
Yeah.
So Pokemon Presents number 1. This debuted June 17th, about a week ago at time of recording this. They had some pretty weird stuff in this.
Well, first of all, they announced this, and I don't think anybody really knew at all what they were going for. Like, we knew it
Yeah.
wasn't going to be generation whatever the next generation is,
Yeah, Gen 9.
and we had nothing else we were expecting. So it was just kind of like,
Right.
what are they up to now?
So yeah, maybe we can talk about some of the speculation stuff that I saw before we talk about what actually got revealed. So just before this, what I always do is before one of these directs, I just go on the internet and just see what people are basically wishing for, it's not even actually like a prediction, it's just like a wish from people most of the time. And like the 2 big things I saw were Pokemon Let's Go Johto
I want that.
and
What a name.
I know.
I
It
want
like
that
it
now.
honestly kind of like rolls off the tongue. And Pokemon, what was it? A Gen 4
Yeah.
Gen 4 remake, basically.
I want both of those.
Because we're basically to that point, which is it's kind of crazy because to me the remakes are the same thing as Let's Go now.
Yeah.
But the remakes aren't really that ahead of Let's Go at this point. They've only done up to Gen 3
Yeah.
remake, and they just did Let's Go, and I feel like everyone seemed to like that a lot. So, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think they'll continue to do remakes in the same style as the original games, or do you think they'll kind of do what a lot of people thought of as kind of like the baby mode, kind of the easy mode of Let's Go?
Probably Let's Go.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I feel like their main target or demographic or whatever is still children. I feel
How
like
dare you?
I mean, okay, yes, I understand that there are
Child.
many, many adults playing this, but I mean, when it originally came out, it was marketed towards children. It's probably still marketed towards children, especially with how it's getting easier for
Yeah.
kids to play. And I mean, Let's Go was fine. Like, it was a good.
I thought it was kind of a success, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good remake, and I would be more.
There's
than
still
happy.
plenty of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Enough to make more.
right.
Yeah,
I know. I'd be happy.
I do
with
think
it.
they have.
Sorry.
Yeah,
go
what you said. I
ahead.
think they've said that it's a separate series to them, like the Let's Go games, and if they're already talking about it like a series, that makes you think, well, they'll make more, right? Or they think about it. So
Yeah.
One thing that I thought was at least fun to think about was people were speculating, like, if they did a Let's Go Johto, what would the cover Pokemon be? Because it was,
Yeah.
like, Pikachu and Eevee, and Eevee was kind of, like, different for me, I guess.
What do you mean?
I don't know, like, Pikachu was, like, really iconic. Eevee, I mean, still a favorite, but not like to the extent of Pikachu. But
It
I
was
guess
hard to me. It would be hard to pick
yeah.
because I mean, like if you can't pick the starters because
Mm-mm.
you picked Pikachu. You're not gonna like settle on a Charmander or something.
Right.
But after that, it's like who do you go to?
Right. But the speculation was either baby Pokemon, which I feel like there's too many
Yeah,
for that to be the case.
like a Pichu and then
There's
something
Pichu,
else.
Igglybuff, Smoochum, and Cleffa. But the other box Pokemon or whatever would potentially be Espeon and Umbreon. I thought that would be pretty cool.
That'd be cool.
I would get both because I love them both.
Thoughts?
I didn't see any of that, so I have no opinions.
That's fine.
Actually, I have less than no opinions. You're talking about the cartoon character on the front of a game that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you
For
also,
all I care,
you
they
also
should
have to factor in that in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, that was your starter Pokemon. So,
ooh.
do you really think
Okay,
they would
you're
give
right.
you an Espeon and Umbreon to start those
Ooh.
games?
I would hope so. Well, at least like an Eevee that could transform into one of those.
That may be interesting. You're given like a
You're
Eevee
right.
with a
I think-
stone or something, and then because I mean, that'd be kind of cool because their mechanic of evolving is based on friendship. So it's like that kind of like
Well, friendship
Ties
and
in.
time of day.
right, but like your Eevee, depending on whatever evolution or whatever version you got, could be like locked.
Mm.
Like let's say you got the Espeon version,
Right, you
Like-
wouldn't have to worry about like
it couldn't evolve at night or
Yeah.
something. Like you could only like evolve it into Espeon.
right.
Which may be interesting. I don't know. It kind of plays into like, this is your starter. This is like, raise your friendship level,
Mhm.
and then like
Go get those
it may surprise
haircuts.
some people that haven't played,
Ooh,
and they'll be like, "Whoa!"
wait, and okay, sorry, I just thought of something because you were talking about friendship and like a good way to raise friendship in second gen was getting haircuts
Yeah.
in the underground passage.
That's what that was for?
Yes.
I never got the point.
Yes, it was for raising
I never
friendship.
did it.
Your Pokemon's appearance didn't change.
And in this one, it could change.
It could change, because I mean, you could do that with your Eevee
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting.
Ooh,
I still
would
don't think they
New
would
little
make
twist.
those as the starters though.
probably.
I don't know what they would make,
But I really would love to see Johto in like proper 3D. Like especially that park that's right above Goldenrod. I loved that
that'd be
area.
cool. So Brock, do you think they're going to continue making remakes past like Gen 3, or do you think they're just going to continue on with Let's Go?
That I have no idea. Honestly, like,
Which one do you
because
think
they
they're
haven't
more
really
likely to
established
make
this.
first?
I would think like it'd be Let's Go game, normal series, remake game, normal series, Let's Go game.
Yeah.
That's
Just, like,
what I
something
would
to
think.
fill time, like fill that year
Yeah.
gap that they usually have.
Right, where they can make a game, but they don't have to try as hard on it, like, or,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like, they don't have to do all of the work with it. So it's a way to put stuff out as fast as they've been doing it, but have it be quality enough to be on the Switch for their standards, at least.
Right.
I think that's really the only way.
Yeah.
And plus, if they just went like, imagine if they've gone like 5 years and only done Let's Go games, how annoyed people would be
Oh, yeah.
waiting for the actual remake of Gen 4, I guess.
Yeah. So there was that. But again, all speculation.
Right.
And none of that happened. None of the that didn't even happen.
Yeah.
So back to reality.
Yes. So what we got instead,
Sorry, our fridge is broken. It's making loud noises.
first up on our list of what was actually shown was Pokemon Smile. And this is targeted for all the Pokemon fans who have grown up and had children. It's-
So the target audience of Pokemon,
Yes.
as you've explained.
Yes.
So anyone who plays Pokemon needs to play this game.
Yes, because you need to brush your teeth. That is what this game
Everyone should.
tells you.
Absolutely.
You need to brush your teeth, because if you don't, evil Pokemon will be in your mouth and they will be taking over the good Pokemon. So I actually downloaded this today to...
Wait, it's out? Like, I can
it is
download
out.
this?
It came out, I don't know when it came out, but it came out the day the direct, or the present was, on the 17th.
Okay,
So,
inform me.
so I downloaded this because I was like, I need to get some research on this. I need to actually be informed to what this actually is. Because, I mean, basically the trailer was just like showing kids putting the phone up in like a little stand in front of a mirror in a sink where you brush your teeth, and the kid's image is shown to them but wearing a Pokemon hat, and there's little cute chibi Pokemon on the screen, and they're attacking stuff, like these little purple shadowy figures. So I downloaded it. The first thing that kind of struck me as funny is you pick your country that you're from first. US is not even a choice.
What?
It's like
Good.
I want to say it's like Japan, South Korea, something else, and then other. So I was like, okay, well, obviously they're telling us this is not for an American audience. So it's really all it is. It's a glorified 2-minute countdown. You
mean it doesn't have an accelerometer that you attach to your toothbrush that tells the angles back and has you get...
Not yet.
Oh.
Well, I did test it out. So I press play or whatever it says, the prompt, and you pick your little starter Pokemon. You have a choice of a few. I picked Pikachu, and you get the little starter hat that you wear. And I click play. A little 2-minute timer thing started going down at the top, and I just sat there for a while. I was like, all right, let's see if I don't do anything. Let's see if I don't brush my teeth. And the Pokemon shows up on the screen and is being attacked by these purple shadowy figures, and if you actually don't do anything, the screen gets like swarmed. More and more keep coming in. It's telling you where to brush. It has a diagram of a mouth. It's showing you where to brush and what teeth to brush. And if you don't do anything, it's like you get overwhelmed, but I don't think you can lose, which is the thing. So I wasn't actually brushing my teeth at the time.
I just look over, and Blake starts doing this with his hand.
I'm really like holding my phone in one hand, like at my face, and going like this. Then my Pikachu starts to shoot thunderbolts out at these purple shadowy figures and like get this plaque off the diagram of the teeth, and like starts to show a white healthy smile. And then
there you go.
The last like 30 seconds, this big shadowy figure came, and I was like, oh, it's like a boss fight or something. What is this? So I keep doing, movement in front of my mouth with my other hand. The Pikachu's attacking the shadowy figure, and as it's attacking it, like layers of purple are coming off of it, and it shows that it's a Rattata that's been like corrupted by this plaque or whatever it is. So you attack it long enough, the shadow's goop comes off, and you've saved that Pokemon. So then at the end of the 2 minutes, you have a chance to catch that Pokemon.
Maybe that's what was going on in Pokemon Coliseum. All the corrupted Pokemon, their owners just weren't brushing their teeth.
Yeah, you just didn't get the lore of that game. So yeah, and I also thought it was funny. I don't know if this is how it is with all Pokemon, but when I went to go catch it, it was a Master Ball. So
It's probably dependent
There
on
you
like
go.
how many times you actually like brush across your teeth.
there could be some strategy, but there also could be they don't want to upset little kids by not catching the Pokemon. I feel like that's kind of like it'd be bad
It's
reinforcement.
incentive.
It would be bad reinforcement because it'd be like, oh, you did this thing. Well, you don't get rewarded for it.
I guess.
So yeah, but now I have one Pokemon in my Pokédex out of 151,
Tight.
and then I deleted the app.
Nice.
Nice. Well, I'm brushing my teeth right now. It's doing great.
You got it?
I mean, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
I gave it 5 stars.
Okay, perfect. Make sure you write a review on there. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of their. They always seem to have one of these oddball life apps like Pokemon Sleep and all this. Like
It's because they
lifestyle apps.
care.
I know, but it's like so. It's like such a weird. It's like we know Pokemon is so influential in everyone's life. This can get everyone to brush their teeth. Okay, sure.
I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about like gamifying like every aspect of your life. It seems kind of unhealthy to me, but maybe it's not. We haven't done the research on it, so
I don't know. If you can get your unruly kids that would otherwise not be brushing their teeth to do it,
but then
maybe.
But then there's the issue of like then they need that for everything. And that's why I'm saying it seems unhealthy.
Why is that an issue?
I don't know, because that's not going to be offered for everything.
Let's make life more fun. Let's make apps for everything.
I mean,
Well-
that's not going to be the case for everything. Like,
Life is a game, and each of us is
I
just
guess.
a player.
Exactly.
In Act 1, I was struggling to survive.
Alright,
Yeah.
alright.
So yeah,
Have more fun.
have more fun. Next thing they showed off
I don't even know what this is.
was Pokemon Cafe Mix, and at the time it was available a week later, so June 24th. So this is a game that is now currently out on Switch.
I'm not prepared for this. Gosh.
It's kind of just like a match puzzler, honestly.
I will give them credit that the act of like creating circle or the actual puzzle action in this game is something I've never seen.
That is
So it's not just put 3 bubbles together or like whatever.
right.
You actually use the touch screen, and it's a weird physics thing, but like the little icons of the different Pokemon seem to kind of follow your finger
Mm-hmm.
as you're like mixing up a bowl of them, I guess.
Yeah.
And so you eliminate them by making a circle, I think, right?
you base your my kind of explanation of it is you kind of make a stirring motion because I think it's supposed to simulate you're in a cafe, you're like you're stirring these drinks together or something, I don't know. But you basically your finger makes a line and you're trying to string together as many Pokemon heads as you can to make a little chain.
Hmm.
And then all of them
Okay.
that are connected in the chain, I don't know how long you can do that motion, but as soon as you're done, it's like, oh, you got a chain of 30, and then those 30 go away.
It's really cute looking.
Yeah, I mean,
It
the
is
aesthetic
really cute.
looks nice. I just don't know if there's enough gameplay there to make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can.
I mean, I think it's pretty clearly going for the Farmville market.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's just, I feel like it's a game that it's just one of those, like, daily check-in games, you know, you do your little level for the day, and then come back tomorrow or something. But yeah,
Yeah.
you can get different Pokemon as staff, and apparently those give you different abilities that make these levels easier, or have different effects on the levels. You can upgrade your little cafe by putting in, like, shelves and different mugs and things. I don't know if they're just for looks, for cosmetic, or if they actually do anything, but it looks okay. But I just don't know how many hardcore Pokemon fans will be playing this.
I'm not. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think they made it pretty clear that they are designing games like for the general population, right? And
Yep.
just like Nintendo, the hardcore fans, they'll make a game that kind of caters to you every once in a while, but that's
Yeah.
not the main focus. They want Pokemon in everywhere and anywhere they can get it.
Yeah.
And frankly, from my point of view, that's fine as long as it's not just complete shovelware, which
Yeah.
these games don't look terrible. I'll give them that. They seem
don't
like
look,
they have an
they don't
audience.
look
So
bad, yeah. But it's like at some point it's like it teeters on the line of that a little bit to me. 'Cause,
sure,
like, when they make these, like, I feel like they've made so many of these little matching games recently within the past
Yeah.
5-10 years. It's like, do we really need another one of these?
Yes.
you gotta
Yes,
get the
we
new
do.
kiddies addicted so that they become hardcore fans.
That's right. Free to
It's
start.
a cycle.
It's the free to start model. So there's that.
And
Um,
then
Then
Then this is where
the big tuna.
Then there was a. This is where the hardcore fans were happy.
This
I
is
think.
when Nintendo punched everyone in the face.
Yes, with a blast from the past.
Yes. Pokemon
Blast from the past.
Snap.
Pokemon Snap.
Pokemon. And
Pokemon
not just like
Snap?
not just like a port, but like fully redone. New
Fully
Pokemon.
new.
Redone?
Included.
It's a new game.
New.
Hello there.
It's new.
It's that new. Okay, we got new Pokemon.
20 years later.
Yeah. Which that
Has
makes
it been
me feel
20 years?
Yeah,
Yes.
right? I feel
20
incredibly
years.
old. But it looks beautiful.
It does look really good.
They showed off a lot of things. They showed off what the new character kind of looks like, and I'm wondering if it'll be like customizable, even though you really don't see that character very often.
It may be.
But it'd be kind of cool. We don't know what the professor looks like. I know.
Do you think it'll be Oak?
I don't think it's gonna be Oak. Which
I
would
don't
suck.
think so either.
I think it might be.
I don't
So-
think it will.
So my thing was like they showed a good amount of like gameplay and the environments look lush. The Pokemon look like abundant, and the option of throwing apples is at least still there. So I presume like the smoke bombs will be there too.
Yep.
They showed like all the
Pester
basic
Ball.
stuff
Pester
that I
Ball,
want.
please.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
Oh man, I just remember the little noise it makes when it explodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all of that's great, and I'm excited. But two things: they need to keep the whole like picture rating system the same because
Yes.
that it worked so well.
Yeah.
And they didn't show that, and that scares me. And they also did not show another thing I just forgot. I forget. Yeah, the
professor?
picture rating system.
Picture rating system.
Oh, they didn't show any gyro stuff. So
Oh.
if they make this game and they don't allow it to use the gyro in handheld mode,
I feel
then
like
they will have failed colossally.
I feel like they have to. That's just like so.
You feel
If you're a game developer and you're designing a game that is centered around using a camera, like you have to put two and two together.
I really hope so. I don't want to have to be disappointed by this
They
because
had-
I'm hype.
They had in Pokemon Sun and Moon a photo taking mode, and you actually did. You had to use the gyro. You had to use motion controls to control it, and everyone I think kind of memed on it and was like, "Oh, this is Pokemon's answer to Pokemon Snap."
Sure.
So I think they will have that.
I also just really like how interactive the Pokemon are with each other.
Yeah.
Like, saw a lot of different images where Pokemon of different kinds are like having a conversation or like sleeping on another one's
Like
back.
Pichu and what was the rabbit from this generation? Their fire starter.
Oh, not Raboot. What is
Whatever it
it
was.
called?
But yeah, there was Pichu and
Cinder. No, that's the last one.
there's
Sorry.
Pichu and then the fire starter from this generation, just like chilling on
Yeah.
the big turtle's back. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
But that was awesome. And well, what excited me too was that first, like one of the first scenes of the apple being thrown like towards the Pikachu.
Mm-hmm.
That was like, I don't know. They were like capturing my nostalgia with the game right there because like in the first game, I feel like that's one of the very first things you do / see. You're on that little beach
Mm-hmm.
section, and then some Pidgeys fly by, and like one of the very first Pokemon after that is like a Pikachu,
Yeah.
and like the only item
Yep,
you have
and
to
the
start
surfboard.
is the apple.
Yeah.
There's the little surfboard that you can get it to, but that was like, okay, this is awesome.
And I think like Pokemon Snap's a great game for an N64, but if they released it with the like every time you play a level in Pokemon Snap, it's basically the same, and the amount of like deviation you can do is pretty
Yeah,
well tracked.
yeah.
I think that would be my hope that that's a little bit more opened up in this game, so you might get some different situations. That's what would put this over the top and make this a 2020 game for me.
Something that I was thinking of was one, I hope that to unlock other routes, you have to do some of the same things that you did in the N64 version, like when you have to destroy
Yep.
the electrodes or whatever to blow up the wall to go to the lava level. I hope they have stuff like
Yep.
that, because that stuff was really like neat to me.
Right, because yeah, you didn't have the internet, you didn't look that up, you always
Right.
had to just figure it
Just
out.
stuff you found. Two, I guess there's three things. Two, maybe there's four. The second one.
Two,
I hope that the way you evolve Pokemon is as cool as it was also. Like when you hit the Charmeleon into like the lava and it becomes like the Charizard.
oh yeah,
Or like you get the Magnemites.
I think you do that with a Poliwag.
Yeah.
Something like that. You get the Magnemites like together,
Together,
three of
and
them, and they make a
like light up.
Magneton.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the evolution stuff was so cool because it seemed like, okay, this would be how it would be in the wild. You wouldn't just have your Pokemon hit level 30, a blinding light would happen, and then it would be a whole new Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. I also wonder how they'll do legendary stuff. Because remember they had like those eggs?
Oh yeah.
I wonder what legendaries are going to be included and how those will work.
I don't know. There's so many. That's the thing. There's so many more Pokemon now
Yeah.
than there were.
I know. Wait, you had
That
four
is the other
things?
I did have
other
four
way they
things,
can make
I
this.
think.
You were on two.
Oh, my third one is I hope that they add the special little scenes that you had to unlock, the special pictures.
Hmm.
Like when
Oh yeah,
when you're going
Yep.
through the cave, you have to make the what are those guys called? The electro. They look like a
Electabuzz.
Electabuzz, like
Yeah.
turn on the generators,
Yeah.
and then you had to take a picture
Yep.
of the rock formation to get
Mhm.
like the pincer outline, or like you had to go to like that
Yep.
river one, and you had to take a picture of like the Dodrio Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they have stuff like that because that was also another thing that was just like super cool.
Sure.
My fourth hope, and this would be a new thing that I think would kind of spice up the game and address a critique that you gave earlier, is that I think a way that they could vary the levels is by having alternate routes within one level. So like you unlock the levels at the end of all these levels, like you blow up the wall to go to the lava level, you take this hidden path by making the Mankey go on the switch to go to this other level. You do those in the level themselves, the first third of the level, and you can go on this other route, and then like the next third of the level, there's another splitting point. Like maybe there's always a default route you take, but then you can kind of wind off and take different branches from that. Adding to the variety of the
that's
level.
one.
So maybe like.
So it's not just the same route every time. You see different Pokemon,
Right.
and it just gives you something to unlock. It makes you curious about more things.
Mm-hmm. I'm down.
That's my hope. If I was in the Pokemon writing room, that's what I would say.
Down.
I'd say it's too much work and we're already over budget. But yeah, I like
Quitting.
those ideas.
But yeah, I think that's just a way to spice things up, not make it one singular route.
Yeah, I want all of those things.
Will they happen? Who knows?
I just don't want to hype myself up too much. Yeah.
Yes.
What's next?
That's it. That's the only thing that matters.
So they didn't give a release date for that, and they also didn't. It said something like footage isn't final, which kind of worries me because it could look completely different. And we also have no idea when this is coming out. So
That's fine.
I can't imagine this be like more than a year in advance announcement,
right.
right? They can't keep up the hype for that long.
Yeah.
I would
wouldn't-
almost wonder if it's going to be a holiday game.
That's kind of what I was thinking, and I don't think the appearance is going to change too much, but it seems like all games when they say footage isn't final always look a tiny bit different. But
Well, maybe it'll look better.
I mean, they usually do look better, so hopefully it'll give them just some more time.
It'll
to-
look better than the original.
Yes, it did
Yeah.
look better than the N64. Just a few more,
Scrap
more
that.
triangles on there.
Go back to the N64
A little bit better
graphics.
geometry.
But not billions. It's not made in Unreal.
Yeah, in Gen
5.
5.
Mm-mm.
You see the statue, it's got billions of triangles.
Whoa. This is a Nintendo podcast. Let's get back to the program.
You can build an Unreal Engine 5 on the Switch. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, they've confirmed it. It somehow runs on Switch.
Wow.
All right.
That's pretty
See,
impressive.
there we go.
Wow.
So other news. They quickly talked about Pokemon Go right after the Pokemon Snap
Sure.
announcement. Typically in the summer, they have something called Pokemon Go Fest. It's usually located in a popular city. They're
Like Oregon.
no.
No.
I think it's been in like Chicago and other places in the past. New York City, I think. But they're canceling the physical event this year. It's going all digital.
Probably for the best.
So I mean, it kind of works out for people. I mean,
You don't have
that
to
wouldn't
go.
otherwise be able to buy a plane ticket and go to
Yeah.
somewhere where they don't live.
To play a mobile game.
Yeah, to play a mobile game. So I mean, you can actually be involved in the event, which I feel like they should.
They should just do this indefinitely.
Yes, it should be a lot of cons and stuff like this. You can buy a digital pass to be involved,
Yeah.
and I think that's a smart route to take. Will they do that? I don't know, but of course, with all this pandemic and quarantining, they don't want people congregating in one spot, so they've decided to move the event to a digital only event.
Once again, Pokemon showing that they care.
Yes. At the very end of that announcement, they also announced that Mega Evolution is coming to Pokemon Go in 2020.
Boo. I don't like Mega Evolving. I don't like.
Ouch.
I don't like.
Do you like Dynamaxing?
No.
Gigantamaxing?
No, I don't like any
You're
of
a
that
purist?
stuff. Or like Z moves. It just makes it like way too easy in Pokemon OP. I am a
Well,
purist.
For the people that do like it is coming out
Well,
sometime in 2020.
You're wrong. But anyway.
This is like the steroid era Pokemon, is what this is.
Yes.
Right.
And I don't like it.
I don't like it.
We just need to get back to basics.
We do. We need a mean rival that's hard to beat, that won't heal you. Okay, my idea for a rival, there's like a bit bubble that was on our microphone. It was kind of cool looking. Anyway, my idea for a rival would be like the sibling rival. I think that would be so cool to have to face against like your older sibling.
So like Leon and Hop.
Yeah, but you're not them. You play against your friend's brother.
Okay.
Like, that's not cool.
Well, I think they got a little bit too close to that idea with this last gen.
Well, I want the rival to be mean again
I want
then.
it to be my sibling.
Yeah.
So then they got into some big-ish news, I'd say. They talked about Isle of Armor DLC for Pokemon Sword and Shield. It came out the day of the Pokemon Present, June 17th. I played this a little bit. It's okay.
I don't think people were expecting much other than
Yeah.
okay.
It's something to do. It's something to get you back in the game. Basically, the premise is you go to this island of Armor,
Isle.
Isle of Armor. There's a big dojo there run by Mustard is his name.
And honey mustard.
Yeah,
Of course.
And his female counterpart, Honey. They have you do some things to, become part of the dojo. You meet a rival.
Ooh, that sounds sketchy.
You meet a new rival along the way. It's not Hop. It's not anyone that you've seen before in the base game.
It's Skip? Is it Jump?
That's the next DLC. But the rival is version dependent.
Mhm.
So the Sword one is different from the Shield one. Sword has Clara. That's who ours is.
Mhm.
I'm not sure who I've seen screenshots of the Shield
He's
version.
just like a magician looking guy.
Yeah, kind of colorful. They're
Yeah.
both colorful. But Clara is poison themed. Her goal is to start a poison themed gym. So she's going to this dojo to try to prove her worth in the hopes that she can become the next big poison gym leader. So that's all the Pokemon that she uses are poison type.
The other character's name is Avery.
What's his typing?
I believe it's psychic because he's making Pokeballs float around his head, so.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do all these things. You become the part of the dojo, and that's really as far as I've gotten. I haven't got too far into it. All of the areas are like the wild area, which is kind of cool. It's all open world. Pokemon are just walking around.
And there's more dog Pokemon for my dog Pokemon team. I'm
Yes.
so excited. Gonna get me a Rockruff and a
Lillipup,
Lilpup and
Zoroark.
Spoilers, next episode.
oh, sorry.
One thing that you can do on the island is that there's these Diglets that are all around the island. There's 151 to go find, which is something to do.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
different.
It's probably a really easy thing to do, or
It's
to
easy,
put on there, but yeah,
but
at least
it's cool. I like when there's collectible stuff in any game. But the big thing that I haven't gotten to yet. I guess I just did. You get Cub Fu, which is kind of like this DLC's like pseudo legendary Pokemon. It's like a little teddy bear
Yeah.
kung fu thing. It can evolve. I'm not sure exactly what it's. Urshifu is its evolved form.
And it can evolve into like two
Two forms. One's
I don't
the
know.
way of something. One's the way of something else.
so it's like Tyrogue.
Yes. Also, when you get that Pokemon, you can have Pokemon. Mustard is like, oh, well, I'm going to allow you to keep that Pokemon outside of your Pokeball while you're on the island, and all of your other Pokemon can be too. So that actually gives you the ability to have any Pokemon in your party follow you, as long as it's in the first slot, which is really cool.
And another
That should have been a thing in the actual game.
Yes. I don't know if that carries over, but I don't think it does, sadly. I haven't
Right.
tested it, so go try it, but I don't think it's there.
Also, another thing that they give you, which I don't really like,
Oh, I didn't like this either. I know you're gonna say.
it's the experience boost. So, okay, it started with like experience share, which was like an item you had to earn by playing the game, which I like that. That's fine. If you have to earn it, I support it.
Sure.
But then they just made it standard. You don't have to get an item.
Right.
Just all your Pokemon
So
gain
this generation,
experience.
just so everyone knows, when you start the game, you have experience share on automatically.
Yeah.
By default. Whenever one Pokemon gains experience, all other Pokemon gain experience.
Yeah. It's very cheap, very baby. But it's fine, whatever. But then, in this expansion, they give you an experience boost item. So you can choose another Pokemon on your team.
No, it's
whatever.
everyone.
Everyone? What? So you get extra points just because.
Hate level just went
It's like
way
it's
up.
really random too, because like you take 2 steps into the dojo, which is like the very first thing you do with this expansion, and I think it's Honey's son. He's like a kind of tinkerer. He makes these things. You can make he makes this machine where you can get the different apricorn balls. But he also, like, the very first thing, he's like, hey, I just made this experience charm. All your Pokemon have boosted experience now. I was like, okay, thanks.
Okay.
Very weird timing to do this, but sure.
I'm throwing it away.
I think the reason is because one thing I noticed is all of the Pokemon are level 60 on the island just to start. So if you're severely underleveled, you're gonna have a really hard time at the beginning of this expansion until you get up to 60 plus, which kind of brings.
I thought I heard that I thought it was sliding, like depending on the Pokemon your level.
It could be, but I guess that brings up another point. Is I have Pokemon in my party that are max level. So
Oh, okay.
every battle is just a breeze. So it makes it weird because it's like, yes, I want to play through this. Yes, I want to do the story, but Pokemon's not that hard to begin with. But when it's even easier than it is already, it does make the battling like so unsatisfying because I'm just like, oh, I can take any move with my level 100 that's an attack move and just kill this Pokemon in one hit. Cool.
Yeah, you gotta put some extra rules on yourself.
Yeah. So yeah, it's something. It's something. I mean, it's not a full game, but it's something to keep the game
So
fresh.
right now, I don't know if I'm gonna buy it. It'll be whether I ever like get back into Pokemon. But my one wonder was how much you felt that the concept of having the entirety of the DLC being like the wild area, how much of that and like Pokemon following behind you, how much of it felt like something they might be like testing out for the next game? Like, did it work, or does it feel like something that they just added in for this DLC? How?
I didn't even really notice, like, when I started playing the game, it didn't even occur to me that it was anything other than the norm, which I think is a good thing.
Sure.
I was like, oh, this is just how Pokemon was. This is the natural way it should be.
Cool. So it doesn't. There's no downside to it.
The amount of raid dens that there are, I don't think would make sense for like a normal route or something. Because there are quite a few, but it makes sense if it's like an end-game area to have that. But the openness, I think, is a good thing, because there's a lot that the art team built out in this expansion. There's a lot of good scenery that I don't think you otherwise would be able to appreciate if they didn't have the free camera and the free movement.
Sure.
So yeah, I like if it is an experiment at all, I think it's a successful one. I think that this is the way that most fans want the game to go. I don't think fans want to be tethered by one, a grid-based movement system, but then two, a fixed camera.
That makes sense.
So yeah, that is out now. It came out June 17th. The next part of that expansion, this is a two-part expansion thing they're doing. Isle of Armor came out June 17th this year, 2020. The next one is called Crown Tundra. They don't have a concrete release date yet for this. They've said their official announcement has been fall 2020. If you go on to the eShop, it says 11/2020, so November 2020.
Sure.
So I think at the latest it has to come out in November, maybe earlier. But that's on the horizon. So yet another thing to go do after the hype from Isle of Armor has kind of died down a little bit.
Yeah, to bring you back in.
Yep.
Makes sense to me.
So yeah, one last thing they were showing with Pokemon Sword and Shield was they're having this event that is going on currently right now. The event is going from June 17th to June 28th. It's a max raid battle against Zeraora, which is kind of this humanoid cat. It's like I don't know if it's a mythical or a legendary or pseudo-legendary.
I've never really even seen it, but
Yeah. But if 1 million people defeat this raid, you are going to get a shiny version of this Pokemon for free in your Pokemon Home account. And at time of recording, 1 million have already been defeated.
wow.
I was gonna say that was gonna happen in no
Yeah.
time whatsoever.
Yeah. So I believe if you go onto your Pokemon Home account, there will be a shiny Zeraora just kind of waiting for you. Even if you didn't participate.
Now what if, say, you had no idea what Pokemon Home was, basically, and don't have an account? Could you make one and get a shiny Pokemon?
I don't see why not.
Wait, what was the question? Are you are you able to catch one that's shiny? Is that the question?
just
If I
have
just
one.
made a Pokemon Home account, do I get one? Or did I already have to have it?
I think I don't know. Because, yeah, like after this whole thing goes away, like a year from now, you just start an account, is it going to give it to you? Let's see.
Thank you.
I don't know.
You Probably not, but I was just wondering.
That'd be interesting to see. Do you have a Pokemon Home account?
No, I've never downloaded it.
Make one on the 29th, and then we'll see.
Maybe.
Probably not.
Maybe.
I'll make a new
Remind
one. Actually.
me.
You can make as many accounts as you want. So.
Nice. Isn't there a limit of number of Pokemon per account, so you could
Yeah, and that's a
not
way to
pay for it?
That's a way to kind of game the system. Yeah.
Nice.
But you didn't hear it here.
No. Nintendo, please love us. We just
Right.
don't mean to harm you.
Another thing that was kind of at the tail end of the present was they went back to Pokemon Go. They were like, oh, by the way, right now, Galarian and Farfetch'd are in Pokemon Go. So that was a thing.
A weird move. Yeah.
I was like, why didn't you talk about this when you talked about Pokemon Go Fest?
Yeah.
And then they also showed that you can get Isle of Armor themed clothes in Pokemon Go, so maybe that was the connection. But yeah, kind of random to end that one off.
Yeah.
But then at the very, very end, they're like, this is not the end. This may be the end of this Pokemon Presents, but we're having one exactly a week from today, part 2.
And that was the fatal flaw.
Yes. Because I think that got so many people hyped, so many people went
Yeah.
back to the speculation that we talked about at the beginning of the show. People were like, they're showing Pokemon Let's Go Johto. They're doing Gen 4 remake. They're doing something that's not going to happen next week.
And boy, oh boy, it did not happen at all. I don't even know what this is. Pokemon Unite? It's like a League of Legends type Pokemon game?
So, this is a MOBA. This is a Pokemon MOBA. MOBA is an acronym for Multiplayer Online Battle Arena.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
League of Legends, Dota, Heroes of the Storm are like some big ones that are popular.
It's every game that's way too popular for
Yes.
how crappy the game is, and every game with a community that's full of love and sharing and caring. And this is exactly the kids that Pokemon is going for, right?
Yes,
They
if you don't
wanna-
know, Brock is being very sarcastic. These games typically have the most toxic communities in the entire world. And I feel like they were at their peak of popularity like 6 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Like, why now? Why? What is this? It'll be, okay, to be honest, I think it'll be fun. But it's not what anyone asked for. It's not what anyone, I think, wanted. I think expectations were way too high going into this. It was like just a combination after combination of just like, I think, disappointment for people. And people got burnt by this, I think.
And actually, I found it. I didn't know this before, but the company that's partnering with them that actually made the game, Tencent, apparently like owns Riot, I guess, owns whoever or parts of whoever owns League of Legends.
Right.
And they wanted to make a mobile League of Legends, and it said no.
Oh.
So the theory is that Tencent just went, well, we can just make our own over here, and hey, Pokemon Company, you want to come along? So it might have been just some like business move from the beginning, which would make people hate it even more if that were really the case, because that would really make it just a money grab.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. And honestly, that would
Theories,
make
speculation.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That Pokemon Presents Part 2 is now the Pokemon Company's most disliked video of all time on YouTube.
I love the internet.
Isn't that insane?
Pokemon needs to step up their game, honestly. Like,
It's fine. What do you...
they need to step up their game. There was really nothing.
I mean, I think it was a misstep to announce that like they did, but they announced some, like, Pokemon Snap. Like, if they had just replaced... If they had switched the two around, if they had put Pokemon Snap on day 2, and
I
this
suppose.
Pokemon
There would be
Unite
no problems.
in the Pokemon Snap slot, I feel like everyone would be like, this is the greatest present direct we've ever had.
Yeah, I suppose.
That's why really the internet age doesn't mean a thing,
Yeah,
but it's funny how loud it is.
yeah. Which is, it's crazy. Like, they released the same games, but the order that they presented could have had that much of an impact. I feel like it's just, I don't know.
It
goes to
it shows how
it's-
passionate everybody is
Yes.
to a fault, but
Yes.
people really do want the Pokemon Company to do great things.
Yes.
They just keep feeling let down.
Right. So I guess let's talk about this game quickly. Um, it is a little bit different than your traditional MOBA League of Legends. It kind of has a different goal than most. Um, did you dive into? Did you research this much at all?
I watched like one extra video, but I I couldn't tell you everything.
Okay, so I'll just start explaining what I looked at. Correct me when I make a mistake, but basically what I gathered was it's a 5-on-5 kind of battle arena type game. On all these MOBA games, you play on a symmetrical map, and you kind of it branches out in three paths towards the middle. Um, you can it's again 5v5. Each person picks a different Pokemon. Some Pokemon can evolve. Some Pokemon can't evolve. Maybe we lost Brock. You still there?
Yeah.
Okay. So some Pokemon can evolve, some can't. Like there's Snorlax, he obviously doesn't evolve, but there's also like Squirtle who does evolve. Your goal is to catch Pokemon, and when you battle, defeat, and then catch a Pokemon, you go to like your. Do you go to your base or you go to the opponent's base?
I think your base.
So you go to the base, and then you basically like turn in that Pokemon that you just caught.
Yeah.
And you're basically trying to catch the most Pokemon in a certain time limit.
Yeah. It seemed like while Dota and League of Legends are pretty heavily like team versus team battle focused,
Mhm.
they shifted the goal away from direct fighting to indirect fighting. So it's more like it's fighting over camps in those
Right.
other games.
Yeah.
You know, the secondary monsters,
Right.
which I don't know how that'll work for gameplay, but that's what they've done.
It is interesting too that there's in most of these other games there's like turrets or things that attack you on the other team's side of the map, and you're typically trying to go to their starting zone and destroy something. But in this, there doesn't appear to be that. There's just these camps everywhere. I think you can destroy the opponent's camps, and those give them less
Yes.
areas to heal up, because the camps heal you up if you go back to them, and they're also where I think you turn in your Pokemon. So I think if you destroy the camps, it gives your opponents one less places to go and heal, giving them a higher chance of dying. And then two, I think it reduces the amount of places that they can turn in Pokemon, which of course is your main goal.
Right. And so that will be how you enable like momentum shifts throughout the game, is taking camps away from the other team. But I do find it odd that the actual scoring of the game is entirely point based.
Right.
So you're not winning by destroying all the other camps, even though maybe that's going to get you enough points to win every time. I don't know.
Right.
You're winning by getting points, which just you happen to get by destroying camps, but that's
Yeah.
once again not like the main focus.
Right. And I do think they'll have something like you can't destroy the starting camp or something. I feel like you'll always have the chance to turn in Pokemon. I don't think your opponent's team will be able to destroy the main camp or something. But yeah, it's your Pokemon gain experience. When they gain experience, they learn new moves that then you can use in battle to battle other Pokemon or to battle the opponents on the other team. Defeating them gives you experience, which then you can level up and get more moves, or then some Pokemon evolve. So yeah,
Do you remember what the timer was for their demo game? Because that was something that
I
is
don't know.
also very different. It seemed like it was maybe 5 minutes, even if that.
It seemed very quick.
So,
If the match that they did in the trailer, because in the trailer they showed off this game and then they had a bunch of people play it. They actually played a match, which was kind of interesting because I think 2 people or maybe 1 person was on the Switch, but then the rest were on phones, if you noticed, which was interesting. You don't have to have 10 switches to play a match. You have to have 1 switch or 2 switches, and then everyone else can play on their mobile phone, which the app is free.
Or you could have no switches. Yeah.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, it's just cross-platform. It's not based on any one game
Okay, well,
or
that's
any
cool.
one platform.
So yeah, I can't remember what your question was, or what. Oh, match time. I think
Yeah.
it is short. I think it is like 5 minutes.
Which, that's way different from any other MOBA.
Yeah.
Which, and suits the mobile thing they're going for, but at
Yeah.
the same time, I wonder how much can really happen in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that kind of also goes into that's it, because the goal of the game or the goal of the match is so different than these other games where your objective is to defeat the opponent's main tower or something. They don't have that in this game, so they have to end the game at some point, or else they're just going forever.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. It's an interesting take on it, I suppose. But yeah, it'll help for online. It'll help when you're 4 minutes into a game and then one of your teammates drops or something. It won't be as impactful as it could be when you're playing a 30-minute match or something.
Don't remind me.
Yeah.
I was so overall, like, it looks fine, I guess, to me. I'll probably download it, and it might be something I start up just once every month to play a game.
Yeah,
But
I'll play it.
the big weakness, like, right off the bat, is when they were selecting characters, it looked like there were only 10 Pokemon, unless they just didn't scroll or something.
Yeah.
And if that is the case, like, that's where you get variety in these types of games, in my
Right.
opinion, is having characters. So there's only 10 Pokemon. That's very bad.
Yeah, I think the character pool will be the thing that breaks this game if they will add more. I mean, it's inevitable, and you'll have to pay for them. They kept saying that this is a free to start game, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. 10 characters to start will be very. It's just way too small. Everybody has to play one of these characters, and they're not going to let you play
Yeah.
5 Squirtles on a team. Everyone's going to have to pick one of these.
Right.
And if you get stuck with the one that you hate the most, well, you got to play an entire round with it. Sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a Pokemon MOBA now. Who would have thought?
No one. Literally no one.
Do you want to get into the next thing on the agenda?
Not really. This is just a running joke now from me. Star Wars Pod Racer. Now, let me tell you about this game. Actually, I already told you about this game. They announced that this was being ported, not remastered, ported to the Switch in one of the directs in like mid-March maybe. And it was cool because those of us who are fans of the game have not thought about the game in 15 years, and it's the last thing you'd think would make it to Switch.
Yeah.
And it did. And then they delayed it to an unknown date. Well, that date was Tuesday. And I would tell you about this game, but I've been so hyped for this game, I forgot to download it. So I'll let you know after the podcast.
All right, that's fair enough. So hyped. I hate when I get so hyped for a game that I forget that it's even out.
And what's funny, actually this is great, because people are now playing it and posting videos of it, I've seen at least 3 tracks I've never seen before.
Oh,
You
wow.
have no idea how much I played this game.
And they're not new.
As a child. No, they're not new. It's that I just never got good enough at it to see them
You
before.
only got to the first 3 tracks, but you didn't get to the final 20 or something.
Not quite that many, but it's basically that.
Okay.
So yeah, Pod Racer, go download it now. They could use your support, and I won't see you online because there is no online. But you're welcome over to my place to play.
There you go.
And
Open invitation.
that's you, Scotland.
If you want to come over, just email fourshadestudios@gmail.com. Next big hitter was Smash Bros. Fighter number 6.
Number 6.
So we knew that there
How many
were...
fighters are in this game?
I don't know. But this is 6 of 11 for DLC. So we have at least 5 more. So we knew it was going to be an ARMS character. We've known this for a really long time. They said in one of the last directs that it was going to be an ARMS character, but they would reveal who it was going to be at a later date. Well, we had that announced. And it is Min Min.
Min Min.
Were you expecting Min Min?
My acclamation with ARMS characters is very, very small, so I was expecting no one, but I wasn't disappointed.
Fair enough. I was not expecting Min Min. I thought they would go for a more, I don't know, vanilla choice and pick like Springman or Ribbon Girl, because to me those are kind of the
face of the game.
Yeah, they're like your... It's kind of hard in a fighting game to pick like a main protagonist, but they're kind of like your basic, just like Mario.
They're your Superman, Batman.
Yeah, they're like your Mario character. They're just kind of like your basic whoever. So yeah, Min Min, she's ramen themed. That's her whole thing. All the ARMS characters have like a theme, and hers is a ramen theme. So I was glad they picked her. I was glad that they picked someone more, I don't know the word,
unique,
flashy, but
just more interesting.
Yeah, more interesting. Springman would have been okay, but
he's also like a trophy thing.
True.
So I don't know. I don't think they would have done him anyway. I was expecting something like Ribbon Girl though. Although if it was up to me, I would have put in my girl Twintel.
True.
But Ramen Punch is fine too.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I was happy about the pick, because it was something interesting. Like when they announced an ARMS character, it was kind of like, for me, since I didn't download the game, I thought, well, this is going to be the character I forget what game they're from 20 years from now.
Yeah.
That's less likely to happen because they picked someone like who's got a personality, is kind of interesting and has a thing, you know.
Yeah. I mean, and they look cool. They have a cool aesthetic. It's not just like, oh, it's a guy with a slinky as an arm. It's like, it's at least ramen, I guess. I don't know. The kit looks pretty cool, I thought. I think it ties in well with the game that it's based off of. So
you mean the moveset?
Yeah. So, let's get into some of the moves and what we liked about them, and if we disliked anything. I didn't really dislike anything.
They're blowing these movesets out of the water.
They are.
That's why the DLC is worth it.
Yes, I think I said this in a previous episode, but every single DLC character has something special about their moveset. That it just makes it more than almost a normal character.
One of the base character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like
somehow all the base characters feel boring.
Yeah, because they don't have that special like ability, or they don't have that special thing that really ties into how you would actually play their game. So
Sure.
With this ARMS character, your arms extend very far. You have very long reach. Your arms have your fists have two different weapons on them, basically. Min Min's, I think it's her left. I may be wrong about this, but it's like her base arm. It's a dragon, and that's her main one in the game. And it's just kind of a basic punch. It's like well rounded, I would say. Her other arm, you can change out the fist. You can do this one called I'm losing the name. It's like Ram Ram or Ram Ram. It looks like a circle.
Yeah.
Like a
It's
disc.
like a little boomerang type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quick, but it's low damage. You can also have it have the dragon, which is just standard speed, standard strength, or you can have the big, I think it's called megawatt or something. It's just like big hulking fist.
Yeah.
Super powerful, but slower than the rest. So you have options, which I think is the cool thing. You're not stuck with a one mode of fighting. Yes, she is stronger at a distance, but you can then pick if you want quick jabs with this Ram 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 Ram, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
You can have the normal with the dragon, or you can have slow and powerful with the megawatt, which is interesting.
Yeah. Though honestly, that wasn't the quote twist for the moveset for me. Okay.
Go into it.
So my favorite thing was how they actually integrated the arms themselves and how the gameplay of arms, which is that you're punching, right, but you've got two arms to punch with.
Right.
And so every other character, your standard A attack is just an alternating punch where you use both arms and punch forward, right?
Right.
But with Min Min, you've got your punches are separated through the A and B buttons. So you're allowed to control both of your arms separately, which means they can go in completely opposite directions. That also means they can be tilted, like up and down and left, or up and down as you push them out. So it allows you to really vary the timing of your attacks and attack at both sides at once if you really want to, which that is something that not really any character can do in the same way, I guess.
Right. And which is exactly how it is in that game. Your punches are independent of each other, and you can control the direction, which they get so perfectly, is what I think makes this so great.
Yeah. And so the independence is cool. The fact that you get to tilt, for lack of a better term, each arm as it goes out, I feel like that's a minor thing when they explained it, but I also feel like that good Smash players are really going to use that to their advantage.
That was my thought.
And I'm interested to see how people use the ability to, say, punch out in front of you and then have that arm kind of work its way just a couple feet higher as it goes out. I feel like that's going to allow a lot of area control, which will be really important to playing Min Min well.
That was my thought too. Like, I think people are going to get so good that they throw one punch at like the ground to maybe where someone's standing, and they're going to anticipate that you're going to jump out of the way and throw the other punch immediately right above that to where you're going to be jumping for like almost an automatic hit or something. It'll be interesting to see how high level players play this character for sure.
But yeah, they very clearly had, actually Sakurai said this, a strength in mind for Min Min and a weakness in mind for Min Min, and their moveset really displays that. So it means that anyone that plays her is going to have to be creative in order to actually be good with her, or else they're going to get pummeled by people coming in close.
Yeah.
And I think that makes it interesting.
Yeah. So at one part of the reveal, and I kind of missed this, but they showed how you could power up one of the punches. Do you know
No.
how you do that?
Well, it was just holding the button like a smash attack, I think.
Oh, okay. See,
Is-
it must have been explained quickly because I saw that they were showing that off and I was like, oh wait, like how do you even do that? I must have missed it.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just like a side A, hold it for a little bit,
Okay,
and
well that's cool.
let it go.
Because yeah, they showed off like the dragon. You can like power it up. The the since the arm is connected from like the body to the fist with like these kind of spirals, like the spirals kind of like got larger and like sparkled or something, so you could see that the arm was powered up, but then also the punches have different effects when they're powered up. So like normally the dragon just punches, you get hit by it, but then if it's powered up, it punches, but then also has like the mouth of the dragon opens up and has like a beam that shoots out for even longer distance and probably more damage, which is like another like
Yeah.
another even layer on top of what I feel like is going to be a complex character.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess in addition to getting Min Min, then you also get the stage with her. And I know a lot of people have been kind of dogging on the stage because it's a pretty standard like Pokemon Stadium type stage. There's
Yeah.
a flat stadium and then one platform. The quote twist is that there are two springs, I guess I'll call them,
Mhm.
which are in Arms the game and allow you to basically do like a powered up Samus, what do you call it? A jump where you go up so fast that anyone that you contact gets hurt.
Right. Yeah.
And that's actually really exciting to me because I like the stages that are 100% playable but have a little twist. And like, there's no reason that anybody's going to say, well, let's not play the ARM stage. It sucks.
Right.
Because it's a tiny thing that'll make the game different, but it doesn't break it in any way. And so that's what I'm looking for in these stages, and I'm happy that I got another one like that, even if it's not like the coolest looking stage.
Yeah. I mean, it looks just like an ARMS arena, like what you play in the game. So I'm happy with it. I guess they did have more stuff released than just Min Min in that direct. Do you want to talk about Min Min more, or do
Oh.
you want to move on?
Um,
I don't have much
the
more to
last
say
thing
on
about
her.
Min Min is the actual reveal trailer is once again the most high quality thing I've ever seen. I
Yeah.
don't know why they put so much effort into them, but they're awesome. Like, and now I want a Smash Brothers themed anime just
Yeah.
because.
Yeah. I thought that was so
So,
funny with
yeah.
like the scene where like they were all the characters were like fighting over the letter and you didn't know who it was gonna, because did you watch it?
Mm-mm.
They had like Spring Man, I think, and a Ribbon Girl fighting against each other, and then
Mhm.
like this letter like kind of floated down from the crowd, and like Spring Man like I think got it, so I was like, oh okay, like Spring Man's gonna be in the game,
Mm-hmm.
but then they keep fighting, and then like the letter just keeps getting passed on further and further, and like there's the ninja character at one point, there's Ribbon Girl, there's basically all the characters, and then it keeps going back to this shot of where Kirby and Captain Falcon are eating like ramen in a ramen shop, and like the cook is like standing behind them, but they're kind of like disguised,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden like she takes off like her disguise and goes and gets the letter. I don't know, it was kind of neat. But yes, we need
I
to
think it was
Smash
a-
anime.
Yeah. It was important that we got to see that Kirby eats ramen whole, including the bowl. I think that's.
I like how they use like the Kirby nail sound, and then it's just like boom.
Yeah.
So some other stuff
So-
that they released with this that I thought was kind of interesting was another costume for Mii fighters, which was the Fallout guy, whatever that's called.
Oh yeah.
Vault Boy.
Vault
You should
Boy.
not call him Fallout Boy. I've learned that.
I knew, like, when I said it, I was like, he's called something, but I don't know what he's called. The little guy that's always on
Just in case
the nuclear stuff, and he's like, yeah, like, everything's getting blown up.
Thumbs up.
Just in case you didn't know, we are a Nintendo podcast and know nothing about anything else, apparently.
That's right. There was like some Fallout Vault like mobile game that came to the Switch, so I guess that's all.
Yeah.
That's all I know. But that's a new Mii Fighter outfit. It looks really
That
good.
looks good.
All of the Mii Fighter outfits where they do a full costume are just like amazing. They had Sans, they had Cuphead, they have this. What if I'm missing one? They have another one, but
And they're going back in the campaign.
The hero.
that's right.
They're going back into the campaign, and if you're fighting against like the spirit of, let's
Like
say, Cuphead, right? Instead of having a fighter that they would consider like similar in fighting style or whatever, they're actually replacing it with the Mii with the Cuphead costume on.
Yeah. Which I think is really cool. Because part of me when I saw some of those characters, I was like, oh, well, they have a spirit. They're not going to be in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Which still may be the case. They still may only get a Mii Fighter costume, but this puts them, like, more in the game than just the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Neat. Bunch of new Mii Fighter costumes. It's like a Tekken one.
Oh, yeah.
Can't remember the
Hihachi or
rest.
something.
I don't know. I didn't see any of this because you watched it when I was asleep still.
But yeah, lots like the usual stuff. When they come out with a fighter, they always come out with like a cool, what I would consider like a full cool Mii Fighter costume, and then they come out with some parts
Other
of
stuff.
costumes that you can
Yeah.
wear. So yeah, there's that. Min Min is out now, I think.
I don't think so. I think
Maybe
it's
I'm
next
wrong
week.
there. Yeah, I think
I haven't pre-purchased it, so I should do that.
It is a little bit later, actually. June 29th.
It'll be out by the time this
June
is out.
29th.
So
Yeah. So yeah, June 29th. It's coming up very soon. So yeah, download the new Smash Bros. Ultimate patch when it comes out. Buy the character. But again, this is 6 of 11. We still have a ton of characters to go.
well worth the hype. However much money I paid for this.
Indeed. So, one of the last big things we're going to talk about is Animal Crossing. There was actually a little teaser thing that came out today, right?
Today, yeah.
So it was just it's a new update. They said that they're going to be coming out with updates periodically throughout the game's life, and this is one of the summer updates. It's a free summer update, and all the promotional stuff, they were calling it Wave 1. It's coming out July 3rd. So what it shows off is swimming and diving is being added into the game. You live on an island. It's surrounded by ocean. They're giving you basically the chance to go out and explore it by swimming in it, and then you can dive down in areas. And the reason why you'd want to dive down into areas is sometimes you'll see shadows at the bottom of the ocean, and if you dive into the shadows, much like in the previous games, you can find sea creatures that you can then take to the museum, like sea snakes and sea anemones and starfish and things like that.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes you can go down and find scallops.
Yep.
And if you find a scallop, this cute little otter named Pascal will come to the surface and be like, I want that scallop.
Yep.
and then he'll bury something for you in return for the scallop beneath you, and you have to go dive for it. And what he gives you is more DIY recipes for like mermaid themed furniture, which looks a lot like some of the shell furniture that we've been seeing, and it looks really cool.
Yeah, it looks good. They showed off an entire room filled with it, and it looked kind of magical, honestly.
Yeah, it
pretty
looked
cool.
very mermaid.
Like iridescent.
It looked better than the Bunny Day furniture. I'll give it that.
That is true.
Big that. So that's, and again, it's just it's another thing that's being added to the game.
But I'm glad they're adding it though, because they had that in New Leaf.
Yeah. The collection aspect, I think, is what I like the most. I like that you can go. It's a modified way of fishing, I guess. Not really fishing, but you can add to your the fish part of the museum this way, and you get new recipes. And at the very end, they showed Gulliver washed up, but he was like a pirate.
Yeah, I kind of wonder what he's gonna
speaking
do.
in pirate talk. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, they didn't really say what else he's gonna be doing, but I'm curious.
My thought was he, instead of giving you like the kind of, because he gives you all the items that are kind of representative of the cultures around the world.
Right.
I figured that he pirate themed stuff. I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, it's such a basic
Yeah, I think I read
thing.
somewhere there was pirate, he had pirate stuff in the other games or something.
Oh, see, I don't know. That could be.
Okay.
But yeah, that's my thought. I mean, it's a very basic thought, but it seems like something that they would do.
Did we
I just hope
say that this was coming out on July 3rd?
Yep.
Okay.
July 3rd, so next Thursday. Next
Yeah.
Friday.
And then
Next
they're
Friday.
doing a part 2 of this in August.
Yep, there'll be another summer update coming out early August. They haven't given an exact date, but they've just said early August. So one in early July, and then a month later in early August.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with these updates. I never felt like the game was empty before because, like I said, my last game was Wild World, so everything's still pretty new to me.
Yeah.
And even if these features are from New Leaf or whatever, I think it's still good to trickle them in because they give me another thing to look forward to instead of just, being bored with it after playing way too many hours already.
Yeah. I think they're going to do one of these once a month. I think they have it planned out early. Every single month they're going to do one of these.
What is your hour count at? Do you know?
I don't know. Yours is a disgusting
No,
amount.
I'm asking Brock. You haven't played hardly any. Yours is like...
Hardly any compared to you.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Brock, do you...
Actually, that's the embarrassing thing. So before Animal Crossing came out, my most played game was Rocket League at 280 hours, which is disgusting amount for me. I do not play that many video games.
Yeah, you're above that.
However long Animal Crossing has been out, it's now made it to 310.
Nice.
And it's not stopping anytime soon.
Yeah.
So,
What's
yeah.
yours?
I got my $60 worth.
For sure.
Last I checked, I was at 315. That was a couple days ago. I have played
Non-stop.
several more hours
Since
since then. So it's probably at the...
Always on some sort of project.
Yeah. You told me to redo the island, so I redid the island.
That's me.
You've redone your island completely,
Yes.
though, now twice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're making projects for yourself. You're not having projects come to you. You're forcing them upon
And this
yourself.
is probably not the last island renovation. There's probably 3 or 4 more to come.
Probably. But
Yeah.
I think I am mostly done with this iteration. The only thing I have left to do is the left beach. And that's it.
There you go.
Well, you have to keep it for at least a week so everybody can explore it and then,
Yep. Then
redo it.
brand new.
That's fine.
Yeah. I will not be redoing my island ever. So you have a home that will stay the same for me.
That's what we need. We need
I am
some
going to make a new
stability.
character, though, so I can have another house.
That'd be cool.
Gotta make it into that arcade. Woo-woo.
Yep.
Let's hit some of this miscellaneous stuff and then call it good. So Ninjala
Okay.
released today or yesterday. I talked about that in a previous podcast. It's free. It's kind of a battle arena game. It looks to me like Splatoon. It just looks like some good old-fashioned fun. So go check that out if you are interested. Again, it's Ninjala.
Like Ninja and Minkala?
I don't know what the last part is. I don't know what if it's a play on words of something or not. I don't know. Definitely Ninja something.
Ninja Hala.
Yes, Valhalla. Last of Us 2 is not coming to the Nintendo Switch. Brock wants everyone to know that. The Switch can handle Unreal Engine 5, but we're just not ready for Last of Us 2. And in Super Nintendo news, Brock and I have been busy.
Or saying things about this?
I mean, we've been busy plucking away at Super Mario World 3 Yoshi's Island. We beat it. I don't even think we told
Also
anyone that
known-
you're starting this.
No, you did. You
Also
definitely
known
did.
as the Crying Babies game. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we had our fair share of lots of crying babies. That sound is definitely burned into my memory forever.
It's just preparing you
I think
for if you
for-
ever have children.
It's just
Prepares you-
desensitizing me.
Prepares you to deal with the stress. and
Whenever my
crying
child's crying,
child.
I can just pop a bubble and it'll be fine.
Yeah, you just sit it on a random dinosaur's back, and it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thoughts on
Yeah.
this game?
You know-
Had you beaten this game before? Had you played this game
No,
before?
I'd never seen this game before.
What?
I didn't even know that Super Mario World 2 was Yoshi's Island. I thought those were two
The
different
naming
games. So
conventions are so bad. Well, what'd you think?
I thought it was a good game that I just was not prepared for. I don't know why.
I agree, honestly.
Because it was. I was going into it expecting another Mario game like Mario World, where the objective is to run to the right and avoid the enemies,
Yes.
and I could not get that out of my brain. Well, when this game decided to throw actual puzzles at you, well, that drove me nuts for whatever reason. So they were good puzzles, fine, like everything worked about the game. It was just that I wasn't expecting it, I guess, and
Just that
that
you're a
made it
baby.
unreasonably.
And not a gamer.
No, I agree with you because
It made it way.
It was like I had beaten this game as a kid, but then I don't remember some of the stuff in this game. It was like I was going in expecting Mario formula, Mario style platforming. There's a lot of stuff in this game that's very weird and not Mario like at all.
Like
This is
Yoshi
like the
turning
Link's
into a
Awakening
helicopter.
of Mario games to
Yeah,
me now.
yeah, pretty much. Lots of like
And
backtracking, lots of the puzzles were just odd at some points. They were fine, they were well thought out, but strange.
yeah, I'd play it again. It was not a bad game. It was just not what I expected, and I never got to it. The art style was really good. That I loved.
Yeah.
And the soundtrack slaps.
The bosses were very good. I liked the bosses.
Bosses were very good.
Very
Yeah.
creative ways to defeat all of them. Which is surprising in a game where your combat is just like throwing eggs.
Yeah, there were a couple wonky places where the throwing eggs was, a little more difficult than it should have been because of, just its SNES game. But besides that, it was very well used, and I think they used the mechanic as much as you possibly could have. Like, I don't know what ideas were left on the floor, but it didn't seem like many.
I did like the variety of the levels and the themes of the level, but there were some difficulty spikes that I feel like weren't quite thought out that well. Like you'd be in the middle of like the third world and it'd just be like the hardest level, and then it'd go back to like the easiest level in the entire world.
Yeah, I think that's part of my frustrations too. It didn't seem like I ever got better at the game because the levels that took us 30 minutes versus the levels that took us 3 minutes were
Yeah.
like back to back.
Yeah, they're so intertwined. It was just like, oh, okay, that was the easy one. Now an impossible castle one.
Screw
Would
the
you
castle
play?
ones.
Would you
God.
play a new one if they came out with a brand new version of this game?
Yes, I think this game could benefit a lot from having the egg throwing being tied to a second control stick, so it was more fluid and you didn't have to stop to do it.
Yeah.
But it was still as fast paced and Mario-esque as this game was.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'd definitely play a new version of this, which I don't think exists.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing else close
not
to
that I
that
know of.
as far as I know.
Not
So.
that I know of. Well, final remarks on Super Mario World 3 Yoshi's Island?
I'm gonna really, really back on this game fondly as we start Super Metroid, which I know is a great game, and we deserve to lose all 7 hours for saying. But we're gonna hate it by default when we start it because we played Metroid first, and I'm surprised I'm still alive after.
I couldn't agree more. And with that, I think it's a podcast. So this has been the Fourshade
That is a
Studios
new
podcast.
course record.
Catch the podcast on All Things Podcasts, Spotify, iTunes. You can catch the video version on YouTube. If you want to contact us, reach out at fourshade@gmail.com. Fourshade is Fourshade. That's going to do it for us. Thank you guys so much for listening/watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
I love you.